Reverend Don Lewis, coming to you from beautiful Florida. And today our question comes to us from Reverend Vivian. And Reverend Vivian says that she was speaking with members of a local coven in her area who told her that in their opinion a coven could have only one high priestess. And as this is not what she has heard from other sources, she wanted my take on it. And the answer to this has everything to do with how a particular group or tradition interprets that word high priestess, or for that matter, the term high priest. In some traditions, the high priest or high priestess is the head of the group and no other person. And to be a high priest or a high priestess doesn't necessarily imply anything other than being the head of the group. In other traditions and backgrounds, high priesthood is a particular degree and indicates a particular training, but does not necessarily mean that the person is the head of a particular group. It means that they have had that study and achieved that degree. They may also be the head of a group, but it isn't necessarily what is meant by high priesthood. So it entirely depends on the background that the speaker is coming from, and neither of these ideas is right or wrong. They are different, and it's very important to remember that many different groups with many different practices use terms like priest, priestess, high priest, high priestess, archpriest, archpriestess, etc. And they don't all have quite the same ideas about it or quite the same practices. And so when you're speaking with people from other groups, they will naturally come from their own point of view. And again, if someone is called a high priestess, it may simply mean that she heads a group, or it may mean that she holds a particular degree and may or may not head a group. In the tradition that I come from, the Karelian tradition, high priesthood is a degree, and a temple might have several people who hold that degree and would be considered high priesthood, but only one temple head. And in fact, the Temple of the Pure Sanctuary would be an example of a temple where most or all of the membership are high priesthood, but that doesn't mean they're all heads of the temple. Only one is the temple head. And this has to do again with our understanding of that term. We use it to mean a degree. So, what does the term high priest or high priestess actually mean in conversation? It can mean a lot of different things depending on who you're talking to. And so the best thing to do usually is to ask them exactly how they understand it, and never assume that your understanding is going to be true for all other traditions. And even if you share a common term like pagan or Wiccan, this is still true, because there are huge differences in practice. So to answer that original question, can a coven have more than one high priestess? It depends upon the tradition that the coven belongs to, or the background that its members come from if it does not belong to a tradition. And the answer can be either yes or no. And again, neither is correct and neither is wrong. They are different practices that different people follow. So that would be my take on the matter. I hope you find it interesting, and until next time, may you blessed be. Pray for peace. Pray for love. Pray for stability. Pray for the nation where you live. Pray for the world. Hello, this is Reverend Don Lewis coming to you for Pagans Tonight Radio. Pagans Tonight Radio is an online radio network with different hosts and different shows 7 nights a week. There's something for every taste, including Spanish language programming on Saturday evening. Check out paganstonight.com today.